Dr. Gilbert, we recently talked about MSG and some of the problems that it creates.
Yes, many.
I'd like you to take that as a subject category and take it for granted that there's aspartame that has kind of pretty much that same cascade, and maybe others, all of which we consume in the period of a day, period of a week.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about these problems that are caused by just that one particular ingredient.
Just the MSG.
Just the MSG.
Well, the MSG has a tremendous set of symptoms. Many people, and I live in the part of the world in North Idaho that happens to have the largest concentration of multiple sclerosis anywhere in the country. And they believe it's from the Hanford nuclear plant when they had what they call the downwinders. When they had that in the 1950s, they had that escape of toxins that waffled up into North Idaho, the Spokane, Washington area in North Idaho. But MS-type symptoms are very often, and I have found this true over and over in my practice, are the effects of excitotoxins from artificial sweeteners and from MSG. And so you've got dementia-type symptoms, headache, Parkinson's-like symptoms. People start trembling. I have a patient who was a retired school teacher, and they told her she had to start a Parkinson's, put her on Parkinson's medication. And when I did her initial workup, an hour and a half on her history, I asked on the questionnaire, do you drink any soft drinks, and if so, what brand and how many do you drink a day? She was drinking 6 Diet Pepsis a day. And I'm not picking on Pepsi, just the fact that she was drinking something with artificial sweeteners. And so I asked her if she would stop it for 90 days, and she says, well, that's really hard. I said, okay, cut it down to 1 a day for a month, and then a half of 1 for a month, and then none the 3rd month. Do you know that at the end of 3 months, her Parkinson's symptoms were gone? So it's very, very important that we understand that many of these syndromes, that's why I don't call it a disease, because it's a syndrome. They're not really sure what causes it. And they're giving you medication for the symptoms because you fit that particular set of symptoms that are that category. And racing heartbeat, skipped heartbeat, tachycardia, nausea. People say, but all of a sudden I'm getting nauseous and I never used to be. They may not be drinking a Diet Pepsi or a Diet Coke or a diet drink of some type, but they may be getting artificial sweeteners and something else that they're taking, breath mints, for instance, or gum, and they don't realize it. So if it says sugar-free, trust me, it's got an artificial sweetener. So it's very, very important that we understand that these, and the depletion of the retinal cells in the eyes is one of the biggest ones. And I wonder if that wasn't part of my eye problem, even though I've had, as you know, I have implants, and I've had several eye surgeries since my illness with the leaky gut that I recovered from. But I had a lot of artificial sweeteners growing up because my grandmother who raised me was a diabetic. So we always had artificial sweeteners.
I see.
And so I'm wondering if some of the deterioration of my eyes, especially after my accident and the drugs that consequently caused all my other problems, if it wasn't something that actually started that cascade of eye problems because of all the artificial, I mean, probably till the age of 30, from the time that I was a child, I had artificial sweeteners until I was in health and realized what it was doing to me. So,
now, from what we've been talking about, it seems to me that what we eat can be almost as dangerous as smoking cigarettes or abusing alcohol.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And even more dangerous than some prescription medications. You and I are not against conventional medicine. It saves lives. It saved my life. But if you're taking medications because you're telling your doctor a group of symptoms and he's giving you medications for just symptoms, there's something wrong. Because many times you need that medication to control the symptoms, such as heart disease or hypertension that gets out of control. But you need to find out what changes you need to make in your own life, in your diet, in the food, in the quality of food that you're eating. And as we talked earlier, read the labels.
That's right.
Know what you're eating because it's very important. You wouldn't go out there and put in, vegetable oil in your car instead of regular oil if you knew that it wasn't equipped to do so. And yet we put all this garbage in our body without ever reading the labels and ever paying attention.
Well, it's integral to total health management, and that's what we preach in Total Health Magazine. But it's the basis for establishing, maintaining, and reclaiming health. And I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.